Are you waking up tired even after a full night's sleep? Do you feel that quiet drain in your strength, the kind you don't talk about but you feel every single morning? I'm Dr. Barbara O'Neill, a board-certified urologist, and today we're going to talk about a simple nighttime change many men over 50 overlook. Something you can add to olive oil before bed that may support testosterone, deeper sleep, and next day energy. And what's actually happening inside your body at night might surprise you. If you find this helpful, join our community by subscribing so you never miss videos designed for men like you. But here's what most men don't realize. Testosterone doesn't simply decline because you're getting older. It starts dropping because your body's nighttime rhythm gets interrupted. And it's during those hours while you're asleep, lying still in the dark, that your body is supposed to be doing its most important hormonal work. I've seen this with hundreds of patients, men in their 50s, 60s, even early 70s, who told me the same thing. Doc, I sleep all night, but I wake up tired. I feel flat in the mornings, and I just thought it was part of aging. But when we look closer, we often find something else going on, something silent, hidden, but incredibly powerful. You see, testosterone isn't released in one steady stream. It surges in pulses, and those pulses are most active while you sleep, particularly in the first half of the night during your deep sleep cycles. That's when your brain signals the pituitary gland, which in turn cues your testes to produce testosterone. But here's the kicker. If you're not hitting those deep sleep stages, or if something is interfering with that hormonal messaging, those testosterone pulses become weaker, less frequent, less potent, and over time, your levels start to slip. Not because your body can't produce it, but because it isn't being told to. Now, why does this happen more often after age 50? One word, cortisol. As we get older, stress, even the kind you don't notice, creeps into the night. Inflammation rises, blood sugar control becomes more fragile. And when cortisol rises in the evening, it directly inhibits testosterone production. Even small insulin spikes from a late night snack can block the signals your body is trying to send. That's why so many men wake up groggy, foggy, and less driven, because their hormonal engine never turned on overnight. But here's the hopeful part. There are small, targeted changes, especially in your evening routine, that can support your body's natural testosterone rhythm again. And one of the simplest, a humble combination involving olive oil. Not during the day, but right before bed. But this is where most men go wrong, because they focus on boosting testosterone during the day, when the real opportunity is at night. And that's where the olive oil combination becomes so powerful. Now here's what most seniors never hear from their doctor. Olive oil isn't just a heart-healthy fat. It's a biochemical delivery system for your hormones. Most people think of it as something you drizzle on a salad or use in cooking. But when you understand what olive oil actually does inside your body, especially at night, it becomes a completely different story. In fact, for men over 50, it can play a unique role in how testosterone is built, moved, and activated. Let me explain. Deep inside your testicles are cells called Leydig cells. They're the actual factories where testosterone is made. And these cells thrive when they're supported by the right kinds of fats. One of the most powerful? Oleic acid, the primary monounsaturated fat found in extra virgin olive oil. Studies have shown that oleic acid directly improves the way Leydig cells function. It helps stabilize their membrane, enhances their response to hormonal signals from the brain, and may even protect them from age-related decline. In simple terms, without healthy fat, these testosterone-producing cells can't do their job. But olive oil goes even further. As we age, inflammation becomes one of the biggest hidden enemies of testosterone. Chronic low-grade inflammation can block hormonal communication between your brain and your testes. Olive oil, especially high-quality cold-pressed varieties, is packed with polyphenols that act as natural anti-inflammatories. That means it helps reduce the noise inside your body so your hormones can flow freely again. And here's a subtle trick most men never hear about. Consuming a small amount of healthy fat before bed can actually stabilize your hormone levels overnight. It slows digestion just enough to prevent blood sugar crashes. It tempers late-night cortisol spikes. And it creates a more balanced internal environment for your testosterone to rise in those early sleep cycles. Now, not all oils do this. Vegetable oils, seed oils, they're inflammatory. Coconut oil lacks the hormonal transport capacity, but olive oil, especially when combined with the right partner, becomes a vehicle for transformation. But olive oil alone isn't the secret. The real change happens when you add one specific ingredient before bed, something men have used for centuries, but rarely in the right way. Let's talk straight. But here's where most men miss the mark. They hear about olive oil and think that's enough. They take a spoonful, maybe feel a little proud, and then wonder why nothing changes. The truth is, olive oil is only part of the equation. The real transformation happens when you pair it with one of the most time-tested, scientifically supported, and powerfully underestimated natural ingredients out there, black seed oil. Also known as Nigella sativa, black seed has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, but only recently have studies started to unpack its real power, especially for men over 50. You see, black seed oil contains a bioactive compound called thymoquinone. And this compound has been shown to do something remarkable. It supports the body's natural production of testosterone while simultaneously improving sleep quality and reducing inflammation. It's like a 3-in-1 powerhouse that addresses exactly what breaks down in a man's body with age. But here's the key. It has to be taken at night. That's when your endocrine system, the command center for hormone release, is resetting. Black seed oil has a calming effect on the nervous system, helping lower nighttime cortisol, which, as we discussed earlier, is a major testosterone blocker. It also supports liver detoxification and balances blood sugar, both crucial for maintaining steady hormone output. And when you combine it with olive oil, something special happens. The fats in olive oil enhance the absorption of thymoquinone, essentially delivering it straight into the bloodstream where it can start working fast. Now, men over 50 don't metabolize nutrients the same way they did in their 30s. The gut slows down, inflammation goes up, and hormones get stubborn. That's why this kind of synergy, combining two potent bioavailable oils, can make a dramatic difference. It's not about mega doses or gimmicks. It's about timing, pairing, and precision. A teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil with a few drops of black seed oil before bed. It sounds simple, but the impact can be profound. But knowing what to take isn't enough. Most men sabotage their results with one simple mistake, and it happens in the last hour before bed. Now, here's the mistake most men don't even realize they're making. They're canceling out all the benefits of their olive oil and black seed combination by what they eat in the last hour before bed. It's not the oils that are the problem, it's the glucose spike that sneaks in right after. Maybe it's a bowl of cereal, a couple of crackers, even a glass of juice or a healthy protein bar. These seem harmless. But for your hormones, especially testosterone, it's like slamming on the brakes just as your body's trying to accelerate. Here's why. When you eat carbohydrates late at night, especially refined ones, your blood sugar spikes, and shortly after it crashes. This sudden drop triggers your adrenal system, causing cortisol to rise to bring your glucose back up. Now, remember what we said earlier. Cortisol and testosterone are rivals. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down every single time. Worse, that blood sugar roller coaster pulls you out of deep sleep and disrupts your natural hormone pulsatility, those crucial testosterone surges that should be happening in the early hours of the night. And this isn't just theory. I've had men come into my clinic doing all the right things, taking the right supplements, exercising, even managing stress, but they're still snacking before bed, still reaching for something sweet or starchy because they're a little hungry or they think it'll help them sleep. But in reality, they're shutting off the very hormonal process they're trying to support. So what do I recommend? Keep your last meal at least 2-3 hours before bed. If you truly need something before sleep, that's where the olive oil and black seed oil combo comes in. It provides satiety without glucose and actually supports hormonal balance instead of disrupting it. Pair it with a calming routine, dim lights, no screens, light stretching, deep breathing. You'll train your body to enter restorative sleep and allow testosterone to do what it's meant to do. But that's not all. Because once you fix this mistake, the final piece is understanding how quickly men over 50 can turn their health around and why it's not too late. I tell my patients this all the time. What you're going through is not your fault. The fatigue, the slower mornings, the extra weight that just won't move, the quiet frustration of feeling like you've lost a step, these aren't signs that you're broken. They're signs that your body's been under pressure for a long time, and that pressure builds slowly through stress, inflammation, poor sleep, and years of silent hormonal decline. But here's what I want every man over 50 to know. It is absolutely possible to come back from this at any age. Your body hasn't forgotten how to heal. It hasn't forgotten how to produce testosterone, how to sleep deeply, how to wake up energized. It just needs the right signals again. And that starts with small intentional steps, not perfection. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in 1 week. You don't need to chase extremes. What you do need is consistency, a rhythm, a few powerful habits done well and done daily. I've seen it happen. Men who thought their best years were behind them, within a few weeks of fixing their sleep, dialing in their nutrition, and supporting their hormones, start to feel a spark again, not just physically, but mentally, more focused, more confident, more like themselves. You are not too old, you are not too late, and you are not alone in this. What you're doing now, learning, showing up, making changes, that's courage, that's ownership. That's what makes all the difference. You're not just boosting a hormone. You're reclaiming your dignity, your confidence, your energy, one night at a time. And if this spoke to you, stay with me, because I have something important to share as we close this out together. If you found this valuable, I want to personally invite you to join our community by subscribing. Every video here is created for men like you, men who still care about their energy, their focus, their confidence, and their future. You deserve deep restorative sleep. You deserve healthy testosterone levels that support who you are, not just as a man, but as a whole person. We started this video by talking about something simple, a habit before bed, and now you know why it matters so much. Because what happens in those quiet nighttime hours doesn't just shape your sleep. It shapes your hormones, your strength, your drive. You are not alone. Thousands of men are walking this same path, and we're doing it together. You're not past your prime. You're in the perfect place to rebuild. You're worth the effort. You're worth the care. Let's keep going together.